What's up, guys? It's Motoko here, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Ifrit 2-star fight on a support class. This is my white mage. This is a pre-made group that we put together through Discord. It actually was a pretty good group. My black mage and my breaker were very good. They both knew how to play the game extremely well. Um, some real quick tips for white mage through this fight. Yeah, obviously you want to keep your buffs up. So what's going to allow you to do that is you keeping your orb count relatively low. So that way when the breaker goes to do his job at breaking the boss, using all kinds of normal attacks, you have the best chance of gaining hard orbs. Um, I had initially thought that that your ability to gain hard orbs was affected by you actually doing the attacks, but that's not true. So basically, as a white mage, you're kind of just driving all your orbs and using up your ice orbs as much as you possibly can, just to keep your orb count low, so that way you refresh and get a get your best chance of getting those hard orbs, so you can keep your support abilities up. My setup for this is Fafnir, Fat Chocobo, Carbuncle, and Moogle. That's probably a pretty darn good setup to bring for this. The only caveat to that is that if you bring a glass cannon class such as Assassin or anything with really low hit points, they're probably going to have issues being kept alive with just Fat Chocobo and Carbuncle alone. So they're going to need supplemental heals of their own. Either that or they're going to need to bring Fire Poo Poo. At least for the 2-star variant, this isn't true for the 1-star variant, but definitely for the 2-star variant, if you play Assassin or anything that has low hit points, you definitely need to bring a Fire Poo Poo. That was something that I wasn't sure you were going to actually need, but the extra resistances really helps your survivability. I did down this fight as my assassin, and my assassin actually was doing this similar damage to the black mage. I know that sounds nuts, but the white mage ended up casting Moogle on the party, and I was doing criticals for 50 to 60k. They were hitting extremely hard, and we were able to down the fight because of that damage. The black mage had died because the white mage wasn't doing everything that he could to keep the party alive, and allowed one person to die. And so plus he was kind of new to multiplayer. There was definitely a lot of issues with this fight when we were new to multiplayer. I mean, some of the challenges at first were pretty outstanding. We didn't know exactly what order people should be going, how the orders actually worked. It turns out it does actually matter when you hit your commands and input them and hit enter. The person who inputs their commands first goes first, and it goes in that order. So people who are playing damage jobs are going to want to wait until the breaker does their job, until the white mage does their job. That way, if the white mage casts a party buff, it's a good idea for the damage dealer to go last. That way they get that buff before they do their damage, and they do the maximum potential damage that they can. I mean, this fight is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing this. And it can be pretty challenging, especially if you don't get your teamwork and communication down. Just let your team know, what you're going to be doing and when you're going to be doing it. White Mage can tell them that they're going to be buffing soon. and other things. As you'll note in this, I basically do the minimum amount required until a break comes along, and then once a break comes along, that's when I kind of pick it up and do some damage and help the party get the orbs back via attacks and things. That way we can do a pretty good damage round. You'll note that the Black Mage in this is doing a considerable amount of damage. Black Mages are great damage dealers right now. Thief would be a good damage dealer if it had access to water orbs, but it doesn't. So I think that at least for the Tyro fight and for future fights, the Thief will eventually be a very good damage class and be one that people are going to want to bring. You're definitely going to want to try and have a 4-star damage card of some sort in the near future for these multiplayer fights. Also, another thing, these multiplayer fights are great tools for people to use for farming skill seeds. We got 15 times 15 modifiers almost every time when we fought Ifrit. I don't know what our scores was. I don't think it keeps track of them. But they were extremely high, and we were able to get extremely good modifiers and skill seeds through this. So this is definitely, at least for right now, for the near future, definitely the place that you're going to go to get skill seeds. And plus everybody kind of wants these items that are being dropped so that they can go to the store and purchase what they need. Some of the Final Fantasy Roll Knight cards were released, and some of them are useful. The taunt is actually pretty nice to have. It's pretty nice to have a taunt, especially for this fight. That way, the boss kind of focuses mostly on the knight, and the knight's able to absorb a lot of damage. Especially with Fat Chocobo up and resistances, he doesn't get hit very hard. And then with Carbuncle up, it pretty much just regenerates all the damage he takes for the round because of the boosted hit points. A fully maxed out knight will have somewhere around 6k hit points for this fight, and with Carbuncle up, that's around what is that, like, that's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 900 hit points per turn that they're getting back, which you can't get anywhere else in the game. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And they're not going to be taking that much damage. Maybe when Ifrit does his special move. But anyways, you'll notice too that the White Mage actually does decent damage as well during a break. So having the ability to do damage as a White Mage is probably something that's worthwhile. I'm sure that if I had a 4-star Fafnir card, that I'd be doing a lot more damage for this, and things would be going a little bit more smooth for the fight. But as it stands, I only have the 3-star variant for right now. That's something I'm going to address here in the near future. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of this fight, and I'm going to sign out right here for right now. I'm going to probably not, I'm probably going to make a multiplayer, just straight up multiplayer strategy video without a fight attached to it, just so that I can focus on giving you guys build suggestions and ideas that I've come up with through the experience of this fight. I know my initial video was, my initial multiplayer video was giving suggestions. Some of those suggestions were probably not right after experiencing the fight, but then again, those were kind of predictions and not necessarily good solid suggestions based on experience. I pretty much said that in the video. And Ifrit pretty much goes down at this point. So, that's pretty much the the fight in a nutshell. So those are just some thoughts and ideas, guys, that I've had on multiplayer so far. I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and I will see you guys next video.